just give us your opinions about this supply purchase agreement between Egbin and the NNPC.
Thank you very much. For quite some time, the sector had been operating without a good form of agreement between the gas suppliers and the power holding company, which has resulted in a deficit in gas supply because there was no commitment. So this time around, the government has decided that everybody in the sector will have to play his part. And the best way to do it is to start with a gas supply agreement, which we have signed between Egbin Power Company and NNPC and Pan Ocean. So it's the beginning of a very big landmark for us, and we are very excited to see how these things play around in getting more gas for power in Nigeria.
All right, now all of these form part of the National Integrated Power Projects, and the fact that the President has taken the energy portfolio under his own stewardship. There's a serious momentum and impetus to sort this all out, with investments upwards of 762 billion naira towards supplying at least 4,000 megawatts. What's your role?
Well, our role is, for now, we have two issues at stake. The National Integrated Power Project is quite separate from the Power Holding Company of Nigeria. Power Holding Company of Nigeria is the offshoot of the whole National Electric Power Authority, the integrated company that supplies power to Nigeria. But the Power Holding Company has been unbundled into several companies, of which Egbin is one of the companies that came out of the Power Holding Company. The National Integrated Power Project is a different project, but is complementing the existing power supply situation in Nigeria. And in the NIPP, as it is called, we expect brand new power generation of nearly 5,000 megawatts. We are really waiting for this, and we're excited to have it because it's going to be a big turnaround on the power situation in Nigeria, where we have brand new plants that can give about 5,000 megawatts.
Right.
When we complement that with the old power plants that we are running at the moment, we expect to have a lot of improved power supply, close to about 10,000 megawatts. This we are very much concerned about, and that is why the President has taken it upon himself to chair the action committee that is going to look into this power availability. And it's a big commitment on his part, and all of us have decided that we are going to join the President in making this a reality, and that is the approach.
Mr. Ayodele, we have a situation in South Africa where we're trying to commercialize the electricity utility and get private players to invest in the sector, but there are challenges in that regard. In March of this year, the Bureau for Public Enterprises in Nigeria indicated that it may want to privatize the generation arm of your company, the PHNC. Going forward, what are your plans to be more commercially viable and attractive for private players that might want to acquire some of your assets?
When the Electricity Power Sector Reform Act was promulgated in 2005, one of the key ingredients of that is attracting private investment in the power generation and distribution. The Electricity Act itself did not provide for, it provided that the transmission would be owned by government, but government would invest in generation and distribution. Unfortunately, the reform process got stopped halfway for one reason or the other, but I'm happy to announce that even as we are talking now, the President has already approved that we kickstart that process. It was during that process that the Regulatory Commission was born, and it was during that process that the unbundling process took place. The next line of action now is to see how we get private sector involvement in distribution and generation projects. As you are aware, the National Electricity Regulatory Commission has already given some licenses out for private investors to come in. However, I'm informed that a few hurdles still stand their way in terms of closing on their financial investment. But government is, as I'm talking now, there is a plan on the securitization provision for most of the IPPs, and government is sure to provide that. Okay. NEC2 is doing a lot of multi-year tariff issues that will help to give some confidence to any investor that wants to come into Nigeria to develop power infrastructure. So all these things are being put together, and they are already showing signs that they are working.